Afternoon. I am Renee
And I am Jacob.
We are here with a driving question that is plaguing both people and scientists everywhere. What is happening to SAVs in Barnegat Bay?
That question will be answered by the end of this broadcast. But first, let's define SAV as submerged aquatic vegetation.
That's right, Jacob. Two of the bay's most helpful species are in grave danger of being wiped out. They are Zoostera marina, known as eelgrass, and Rupia matrima, known as widgeon grass.
These grasses are both helpful to the environments and the animals that live in it. Starting with eelgrass, it is both food for some herbivores that live in Barnegat Bay as well as a structured home for small fish and waterfowl.
Widgeon grass is very similar to eelgrass's usefulness in the bay, which also means they share the same problems. If you look at photo 4 of both seagrasses, you will see there's little to no change early on.
However, right around 1996, the amount of seagrasses were visibly declining, and looking at photo 5 in 2003, they became patchy and sparse. This will lead to both grasses' disappearances in the next few years. The problems are numerous.
We keep mentioning these problems, but not explaining. Scientists have come up with a list of things happening in Barnegat Bay that are killing the seagrasses, the first being algal infestation.
Algae is coming in and poisoning the seagrass. They are a combination of red and green algae.
The list of harmful algae was long, and some of them were even less than 1%. But the most prominent algae found in the beds were Ulva lactica, which had 59% covered, Spiridia filamentosa, which consisted of 55%, Gracillera ticavihi was on 30% of the beds, and Champia parvula was found on 23% of the seagrass beds.
Those are some culprits just for direct infestation or infection. But what about the brown algae?
The brown algae may have actually caused more problems. Brown algae forms brown tides, and the largest number of Arococcus anophlogephrins. These were the only problems not caused by humans.
Do not forget about the long-term effects of all this algal infestation. The water quality is also affected.
That is true. Brown tides cause a lower water quality, and topping it off with all the red and green algae, this is already hurting the seagrasses. It's becoming catastrophic.
We believe it's catastrophic because the seagrasses play such an important role. Without them, fish don't have homes, and that renewable source of food is gone. This also brings disease to the seagrasses.
Correct. When the seagrasses are under constant problems, they get sick and diseased, and that also kills them off.
This occurs when water has too many nutrients and causes the algae to bloom. Though algae can be good for the water, too much is a very bad thing.
Right. All the algae we have mentioned is useful in some form, but when they overbloom and cover the entire bay, they become detrimental to its environment.
Now that we have blamed nature enough, let's get down to the other culprit, humans. The best example of human intervention is boat scarring.
That is true. Boat scarring is our fault. Boat scarring is when people who live on the bay take their boats out. As they leave the shallow water, the propellers get stuck in the seagrasses and rip them out at the roots, which create an empty, long patch in the middle of the seagrass beds.
Dredging is another problem that we cause, which is the idea of using machinery to pull weeds and harmful plants from the SAV beds.
It's another perfect example of humans trying to do good but causing more faults. Dredging does in fact take out harmful plants and algae out of the beds, but the machinery also rips out precious seagrasses at the roots and in turn ruins the bed more than it helps.
Luckily, we already have help from people to save the seagrasses, one being the Clean Water Action. They have donated a lot of money over their 40 years of experience. They have also teamed up with New Jersey Environmental Federation on occasion. Their website, www.cleanwater.org.
Also, the Department of Environmental Protection had everyone who lives on the bay clean their docks of sea nettles, which are an invasive species that can harm the seagrasses and their home.
Before we shut off, the future of Barnegat Bay is at stake. We need help to save the eel and widgeon grasses. The problem is moving south, and if we don't stop it in New Jersey, it will wipe out both populations on the eastern border.
I know it may be difficult, but please give the website a look, and I hope it inspires you, the viewers, to come fight and keep New Jersey's environment clean and healthy.
Thank you for listening. Have a good day.
And stay classy, New Jersey.